Blah 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 blah. Welcome to Magic the Chat. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Magic the Chatter. I'm your host Cal, and in today's episode we're going to be going through the top creature types from Bloomburrow. I'm going to give you a card per creature type under £1. Let's get straight into it, starting off with frogs. So for frogs I've gone with Grolnak the Omnivore. Grolnak is 2, a green and a blue for a 3/3 frog. Legendary frog, that is. Whenever a frog you control attacks, mill 3 cards. Whenever a permanent card is put into your graveyard from exile, exile it with a croak counter on it. You may play lands and cast spells from one card you own in exile with croak counters on them. This card is a good enabler for your frog tribal decks. Comes in at just under 40 pence, so it's easy to pick up at the minute. And suggest grab them while you can before the hype of Bloomburrow takes over. On to the next tribe. For rabbits, we have Pollen Shield Hare. This is one from Wilds of Eldraine. It's 1 and a white for a 2/2 rabbit. Creature tokens you control get +1/+1, and it also has an adventure half. For 1 green, sorcery, target creature you control gains vigilance and +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. Now, this guy packs a lot of punch for a low mana cost. Both halves pretty low mana cost as well. 50 pence coming in at the moment. Feels like a steal. Pick it up while you can. You'll play with it and enjoy it. On to the next tribe. Raccoons. We have Bramble Familiar. It's 1 and a green for a 2/2 raccoon elemental. Tap, add a green. Pay 1 and a green, tap it and discard a card to return Bramble Familiar to its owner's hand. And you can pay 7 for its sorcery, adventure, fetch quest. Mill 7 cards, then put a creature, enchantment, or land card from among them milled onto the battlefield. Now, this card, it's an engine all on its own, especially if you've got a lot of mana lying around. If you're in green, you're probably going to have a lot of mana lying around, let's be real. Coming in at 60 pence at the minute, seems like a steal. Squirrels. We have Squirrel Sovereign. 1 and a green for a Squirrel Noble, 2/2. Other squirrels you control get +1/+1. This is coming in at 30 pence at the moment, pretty self-explanatory. There were a lot of options for squirrels, of course. Established tribe in Magic for a long time. But I thought this one at 30 pence, with a really good Anthem ability, seemed like a no-brainer. This is what we've gone for. Squirrel Sovereign, pick it up. Up next, Lizards. Now, Lizards was an interesting one. There's not too many lizards in Magic, and the ones that are don't really synergize with each other. So, I've just gone for a bit more of a utility one in Lizard Blades. It's 1 and a red for a 1/1 equipment lizard with double strike. An equipped creature has double strike and it has reconfigure for 2. Coming in at £1 at the moment. I can see this one creeping up in price as time goes on. Good ability on a relevant creature type now. Pick it up while you can, only £1. On to the next one. Mice. We have Raging Battle Mouse for mice. Another Wilds of Eldraine card. 1 and a red for a creature mouse. 2/1. The second spell you cast each turn costs 1 less to cast. And Celebration at the beginning of combat on your turn. If 2/1 non-land permanents enter the battlefield under your control this turn, target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Now, Raging Battle Mouse is nothing special, but I think that ability to make your second spell cost 1 less, it'll add up as the game goes on. It's a useful ability, and for only 40p, seems like a good option. And for otters, we've got Elusive Otter, just 1 blue for a 1/1 prowess. Creatures with power less than Elusive Otter's power can't block it, and it has Grove's Bounty, a sorcery adventure for X and a green. Distribute X 1/1 counters among any number of target creatures you control. Now, Elusive Otter at 60 pence seems like a good option. Prowess is going to synergize well with the other otter mechanics you've got. The only problem I could see you having is if there isn't a Teamer Otter commander, because then this is a little bit useless. But in terms of otters in Magic, this is pretty much what you've got. So it's this or Lutri, and we all know Lutri's good, you don't need me to tell you that. On to the next one, we've got Bats. And I've got nice and simple with this one. I've got Makewood Bats, 3 and a black for a 2/3 creature bat from Lord of the Rings. Flying, whenever you create it or sacrifice a token, each player loses 1 life. The loss of life ability seems very relevant in this new Bats archetype. And for 80 pence currently, you can buy it. So it's relatively cheap to pick up. I've seen this card win games multiple times across multiple different games of Commander. So it is worth picking up even if you don't have a Bats deck. On to the next one. You've got Rats. Now, Rats was another one where there's a lot of cards to pull from. We've got a lot of rat support in Magic already. So what I've gone for is a relatively new one. It's Karamunox, the Rat King, which is 1, a black and a black for a 3/3 Phyrexian rat with Toxic 1. All the rats you control have Toxic 1, and when it enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal any number of rat cards from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Karamunox coming in at 80 pence. Really useful card. I think a finisher in a Rats deck if you're going wide. Yeah, worth picking up. 80 pence. Get on it. And finally, we have Birds. Now, Birds was a tough one for me to find something, and as you will see from the card that I've picked, we've had to go quite far back to get any bird support. So we've gone with Soulcatcher's Eyrie, which is 1 and a white. It's an enchantment. Whenever a bird is put into your graveyard from play for the feather counter on Soulcatcher's Eyrie, all birds get +1/+1 for each feather counter on Soulcatcher's Eyrie. 35 pence you can pick it up for at the moment. And with all the support that birds seem to be getting in Bloomburrow, I can only see this one going up and up and up. This is one that I was shocked to find because it's explicitly a bird tribal card, and it is an old one. But it's still at 35 pence, so pick it up while you can before the buyouts happen. And that's it for this video. If you enjoyed that, please leave a like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram at @the_chattering, on X at @m_the_chattering. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.